Today on the channel, it's the return of the Kyle Peterson Top 10. And today on the channel, we're headed over to the Marvel Legends world. And I'm counting down my top 10 most wanted X-Men Toy Biz figures of my childhood that I want to see as a Marvel Legend.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
And today, we're talking X-Men, and we're talking early 90s Toy Biz X-Men action figures. The X-Men figures I grew up on, I collected as a kid. So many great memories of collecting that era of Toy Biz. Action figures in general, but specifically for this video, X-Men, X-Force, X-Universe figures. And in today's video, we're doing a top 10 where we're only going to talk about X-Men related Toy Biz figures from the 90s that I want to see a modern rendition of here in 2026 and possibly beyond. So of course, as usual, get your list together. You guys know how these lists go by now. We start at number 10, work our way to number 1. Number 1 being the must-have, the one I want to see the most in 2026, 2027, sometime soon, San Diego Comic-Con maybe, who I want to see in the Marvel Legends line. As usual, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Number 10. We kick off the countdown here at number 10. And one thing that's very interesting about the 90s X-Men Toy Biz figures, there was a lot of heavy hitters. You had your Magnetos, you had your Wolverine, Cyclops, etc., Apocalypse, you name it. But there was a lot of characters that you thought were going to be a bigger deal. There's so many of those characters that I never hear anything of. You never see anything about. They're never in movies, but you're like, this guy's going to be a big deal in the future. Maybe he's in the comics as they're being released, but they've basically fizzled out to nothing. And there's a lot of those characters. Now, I haven't kept up with the X-Books in quite some time, but you're going to see a lot of characters in this countdown that you might say, who are these people? Who is this? Maybe, maybe not. So a little asterisk on the countdown here. And we got one of those at number 10. A guy had 3 different color variants. There was a purple one, a blue one, like a gold one. Over the years, there was a lot of repaints in this line. We're going to go to Trevor Fitzroy. Fitzroy had a pretty good run for a little bit and obviously got figures around that. Haven't heard anything of since. Haven't seen him in any kind of properties, cartoons, movies, anything. Who knows what he's doing now? For all we know, he could have just retired or he got killed. We're not exactly sure, but we got many different versions. The blue one was always the classic one to me. So I would love to see a modern rendition of one, Trevor Fitzroy. Let's keep on coming. This time we go to the X-Force style of the Toy Biz figures. And we go back to those early X-Force sets with the more extreme X-Men in a lot of ways. Perfect for a little kid growing up in the 90s who was straight up extreme, Todd McFarlane. Let's be honest, I'm still extreme to this day. I do everything to the extreme, for good or for bad. But number 9, we're going to X-Force, and this character I think is more known for his time in S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point than his time in and around the X-Force team. But we're going to G.W. Bridge, and I'm shocked we haven't got him somewhere along the way, maybe an extra head or something to make a S.H.I.E.L.D. guy with him. But we did get him once upon a time in X-Force. Always enjoyed this character. Always really loved the X-Force of the early 90s as well. So there was a lot of hits to be played. I had to get every one of those X-Force figures. And you know G.W. Bridge was on that list. We're keeping it going with X-Force at the number 8 selection here. Another character that had the first couple of issues of X-Force. I think he was even on a cover or 2 along the way. Him, Gideon, even Deadpool back then. But this guy was so popular, maybe, that he got 2 figures. 2 figures. Who are we talking about? Well, I brought both figures out. It is Kane, and the second version of Kane, way better than the first version. The first one, a little bit too small for my liking, but an interesting character that I don't really remember much about besides I loved playing with this figure especially, and I remember those early years of reading X-Force as like a 9, 10-year-old kid, and he was pretty predominant in a couple of those issues. Not sure where he's went to, if he's lost all of his popularity or what, but there was a moment in time where he was so popular, he got 2 figures within like a year of each other, something like that. So shout out to Kane getting it done in the early 90s. Not so much now, but would love to see him part of a box set or something. Would love to see a lot of these X-Force guys in a box set. Would be perfect for Amazon or something. Who knows? But Kane coming in, number 8. The hits keep on coming at number 7. And number 7, we keep on the X-Force train. It was all about that X-Force when I was a little kid. And this was a bad guy part of X-Force. And this guy really beat up everybody in my childhood fig-fed days. It would take Cable and Wolverine together to take a guy like this down. Another guy that seemed like just a top villain that really never went anywhere and I never hear anything of to this day. It is Krule, that bright purple, just straight out of the 90s, of course. Has that long hair braid with the big spike on the end, like a young Bianca Belair, of course, in WWE. But always loved the looks of this character. Looked like he was, you know, from a village, a tribe somewhere out of Cannibal Holocaust or something. But he would use his hair as a weapon, a big, beefy bruiser. Would be perfect for one of those 2-packs where they maybe put a smaller female, make him upsized. I would love to see Krule one of these days. Know absolutely nothing about the character. I remember the figure more than anything else. I think that's a lot of these figures that I've shown so far here. But Krule was a fun one. Would love to have this in the modern scale. Krule coming in, number 7. Carry on to the number 6 spot now. And number 6 is an interesting one, kind of a twofer in some ways. First, I'm going to bring up this guy here. I did a video like this a couple of years ago. Some came true, a lot have not. Exodus was one of those figures I really, really want in the modern scale. Now, there's a lot of rumors swirling. Yes, they're swirling, Todd McFarlane. And maybe we'll know more by San Diego Comic-Con that we're actually getting an Exodus figure from Marvel Legends. Now, we got Fabian Cortez. Now we're getting Exodus. Would love to see Colossus in his Magneto gear from Avalon. I would love to see that happening. Now, we never got that of old, at least that I ever had. There was maybe a repaint somewhere along the way. But that would be another figure I'd love to see. They already got Colossus. It would be an easy repaint. But Exodus is one I've wanted for a long time, so I'm not putting him on the list technically. But in his place here, we're going to put Senyaka, another guy from the Magneto team. I always love the purple and red attack. I love those comic books where, you know, the Magneto was really lost his mind for all intents and purposes. He rips out the adamantium from Wolverine. Talk about a shocker on the playground. I'll never forget getting that in the mail. I used to subscribe to my comics via Marvel. And I remember going to school, the old playground, as we say, telling all my friends about what happened to Wolverine. You knew I couldn't bring the comic to school because I didn't want to bend any corners or anything like that in my backpack, so I wouldn't bring it to school. But I remember telling everybody, and they wouldn't believe me. I'm like, you got to go to the comic shop. Go check it out, and you'll see for yourself. And it was a big, big deal with Wolverine losing his adamantium, and then he went kind of feral and lost off from there a little bit. But man, oh man, Senyaka was in the background there. You had Colossus, Fabian Cortez, Magneto, Exodus. But this would be a good guy I would love to see. Maybe a 2-pack with Exodus could be along the way, or a 2-pack with Colossus, whatever it may be. I'd love to see Senyaka, and he comes in, number 6. We've hit the halfway point of the countdown. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below. Make sure you put them in order. That's the hard part. That's the fun part. I know some of you are 90s kids like me. Put your list down there and subscribe to the channel while you're at it, and subscribe to my other YouTube channel while you're at it. How about? But here we are at number 5, and all I can say is one word: Starjammers. It's 2 words, depending how you spell it, I guess. But Starjammers, an all-timer, led by Corsair, as we know. We got Chode as a Build-A-Figure not too long ago. I want to see them complete the Starjammers team. And one of the characters we got a long time ago that have not got as of now is one Raza. Raza back in the day. The swordsman, and among many other things, as we know, but a long swordsman of what I've been heard. That's just the talk in the locker rooms, of course. But Raza would be a great one, a very toyetic looking figure. Would love to have him in the collection. And I want to build out that Starjammers team. And he's an important part of that, among many others. And we've seen Marvel Legends building out a few more teams as of late. Hopefully they circle back, finish the Starjammers for us. Raza coming in, number 5. Number 4, we're diving back into some of the big beefier characters of the Toy Biz Marvel days of the 90s. Another guy that I thought was going to have an amazing run that you really didn't hear much more about. If my memory serves me well, like a young Bob Dylan, I believe he was involved with Apocalypse, if I'm not mistaken. But it is Tusk, a big, beefy guy. Would be perfect for a Build-A-Figure. We don't get a lot of Build-A-Figures anymore, unfortunately. But I could see him as a Build-A-Figure. If not a Build-A-Figure, maybe he could be part of those 2-packs. You put a smaller figure with him. That would be amazing. But a toyetic-looking guy, there's no doubt about it. A big, big bruiser. I always had him and Strong Guy square off when I was a kid. That was like a huge feud. Hot feud in my X-Men playing days once upon a time. But I always loved the looks of Tusk, loved the horns on there, loved this character. Thought it was a very, very fun figure. Would definitely translate well to Marvel Legends here in 2026. So Big Bad Tusk comes in, number 4. Down to the final 3, and I was talking about big and bad. Well, this was the big and bad guy of the X-Force team, which I'm honestly shocked we have never got. Now, we got a character with the same name just recently, and when it was first announced, I was like, yes, we're finally getting it. Then I found out it was the Spider-Man character, one I wasn't even really that aware of. But who is number 3? Well, he's the backbone of the early X-Force team, if you ask me. It is Grizzly, a different Grizzly, X-Force's Grizzly. Once again, would have been a fabulous Build-A-Figure once upon a time. Maybe we can get him as part of a 2-pack, a box set or something. But I always loved Grizzly. I loved his big kind of concrete stone hammers he would hit people with. Just the bruiser of the team, and I think would be fabulous, as I said, a Build-A-Figure or a deluxe figure. Very good looking figure once upon a time. Always loved that early X-Force team, and he is much needed if you ask me. Old Grizzly comes in, number 3. The hits keep on coming down to the number 2 spot. And number 2, we're playing all those X-Force hits is what we're doing here today. This is another bad guy from the X-Force toy line once upon a time. Another guy that looks amazing. I think he was briefly in the X-Men animated series, if I'm not mistaken, but we have never got a figure since. Not a super popular character, obviously. Didn't catch wildfire like a young Tommy Rich, Todd McFarlane. But who are we talking about from X-Force? We're talking about the bad guy. We're talking about Forearm. Something about a guy with 4 arms always steals my heart. You know, we got Spiral with her 6 arms. We've got 6-armed Spider-Man. What's it going to take to get a Forearm? I feel like this is another one of those guys that maybe you don't remember his name. Maybe you can't think of him sometimes. But man, when you see it, it just floods back the memories. Everybody had Forearm back in the day. Would be very, very fun to have. I would love to see this guy. I think it would be very cool. You could put him in a 2-pack. I don't know if he'd sell too well at retail, but could be a fan channel exclusive, something along those lines. But I don't know if it's an iconic character, but an iconic toy for sure. Forearm comes in at number 2, which means there can only be one. What is my most wanted X-Men figure from the Toy Biz days that I want to see now? Well, stay tuned. Here we are at the top spot. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below. And as I said, don't forget to subscribe to this very YouTube channel. We got countdowns every single Thursday. Appreciate the support out there. What, Todd? And Todd McFarlane says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like the video, of course. But here we are at number 1. And when I went through my huge list of figures, I mean, I got all these figures from back in the day. And I'm looking through it. I'm going through the tub of all these. I mean, there's some really fun ones. And it would have almost been good to do a top 20 because there's some other people that I would love to have figures from. Maybe I'll do a part 2 one of these days. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Who knows? Keep you guessing. That's what we're going to do. But number 1, it goes back to my Starjammers love. I had Raza out there earlier. I was thinking back specifically to the X-Men animated series Once Upon a Time, how much I enjoyed that story arc. I was appointment viewing for little Kyle on Saturday mornings, seeing the Starjammers, seeing the Phoenix Saga unfold in front of my eyes, where I just read some of the comic before. Getting to watch it animated was a pretty big deal. And one of the villains of that, I mean, there was many sub-stories inside the stories, was the Starjammers, obviously, but also some of the villains along the way that were involved. And one of those villains here I saw in the pile, and I said, man, I can't believe we don't have this figure yet. Hopefully coming sooner rather than later. It is Eric the Red. Yes, Eric the Red, not just for Vikings anymore. He was part of there. He was throughout the galaxy, one of the dastardly guys. Him and Corsair squaring off in my childhood fig fed all the time as well. Always liked the looks of this one. I think they could do it really good justice in 2026 here, giving him some shiny metallic armor, give him a mean, ugly face there and some cool blaster weapons. You're playing all the hits, if you ask me. Eric the Red would be a very fun one to put on my Starjammers, have him square off Starjammers, whatever it may be. But Eric the Red, for this video today, where my brain is, comes in at a solid number 1. And that is my top 10 list. Once again, get your top 10 list together. Be interested to hear your thoughts. Did any of these figures bring back memories to you? Did you ever have any of these? Or maybe you had them and didn't know who they were? Be interested to hear your tale and, of course, to see your list in the comments down below. But there it is. That is my list. Once again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this channel and my other YouTube channel. Check out YouTube channel memberships and Patreon for more exclusive content, bonus videos. You name it, there's tons of stuff to keep you busy over there. Appreciate the support on Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. SirPaul64 is where you'll find me on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Available where podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 10, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we going to dance or are we going to play?
I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. Use a cobra snake for a necktie.